Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to set up your fuser. Most newer fusers will automatically spoof your EDID. The EDID file is all your monitor's information, the resolution, the hertz, the serial numbers, and even more that I won't get into. This info can of course be edited by a EDID editor that you can find online, but for guides on that you will have to use Google. But just know for most fusers it should be plug and play. I will be showing you the V6 and the D60 as those are the fusers that I currently have. If you have another fuser, such as Captain, the setup process might not be the same. So to start, I will show you all of the ports and buttons on the V6 fuser. Starting at the back, the very most left port is the power. Next to that is a USB-C port meant for flashing EDID. Most of the time you will not need to use this. Then we move on to the HDMI ports. If you have a display port fuser, all of them, but the last port will be the same. The first one is for your second computer. It's the input from the GPU. The middle one is for your main computer from your GPU. Lastly is the display output. This might be DisplayPort if you have a different Dichen fuser. It should go without saying, but you no longer need to connect your PC to your monitor. It should only be connected to the fuser. Otherwise, how would it work? The buttons on the front are as followed. The power button to turn on and off the fuser, which you will want to when you're not using it. The 4 LEDs. D1 representing if power is going to the unit and working. D2 representing if overlay is on or off. H2 representing your second computer being connected and recognized, and H1 your main computer being connected and recognized. The next 4 buttons, K1 being to change one of the preloaded EDID files, which you will not want to ever press as you will be changing the EDID to a different resolution than your monitor probably supports. If you do accidentally press K1 again, it has 5 modes, so you will just want to press it 5 times with giving it time to reboot and load between each press. On some versions of the fuser, you have to hold it, and a press will do nothing. K2 is going to change your black level, and I will demonstrate what that looks like now. You can kind of see how everything that is black is being transparent. K3 will reset K2, or you can just press K2 20 times for each level. And lastly, the only button that you will ever press on the fuser, K4. K4 will turn on and off the D2 light, representing if it is fusing or is overlaying. In other words, only you will be able to see the second PC overlay. As it happens after the video signal leaves your PC, for a lot of people this can be jarring and take a minute to understand, and you might try to click on things on your second PC from your main. I have a capture card connected to my fuser so I can show you how it looks. Other people such as myself, when you screen share or if we remote into your computer, cannot see what you see, as the fuser is displaying your main computer and then putting your second computer over it and removing anything black. It is a standalone unit and does not need any software to work. Please know if you have a monitor that is a higher resolution or hertz than what the fuser that you bought supports, you will be running into issues. You can try to run it at a lower hertz and resolution, and you will have to do a lot of testing on your own to get it to work. I will also be showing you how the D60 works very quickly as it is way more plug and play. The D60 has a DisplayPort out all the way on its left-hand side and HDMI in for the second PC and a DisplayPort in for the main PC, along with power and USB to update the firmware. The HDMI port does not run at the same speed, therefore it should upscale automatically the second PC resolution. So the second PC will be running at a lower resolution, but same hertz, and it should upscale automatically. Do not freak out seeing that the resolution is wrong. As you can see with a fuser, you only need 1 monitor. You can have 2, but I would not see a point of having a monitor for your second PC, as it can just use the fuser. Also, it can become quite difficult with software and other things if you have a monitor and a fuser for your second PC, such as software being displayed on your monitor instead of the fuser screen. This of course can be fixed, but there is just more setup. If you are on a laptop, you will want to set the display to extend, not duplicate. If you are set to duplicate, you will not be able to change the resolution or hertz. Next, I will be showing you how to flash the EDID file if needed, and how to make your own EDID file. First, you are going to want to go on Google and download monitor info. After that is downloaded and installed, you will want to run it with no fuser connected. This is because we are trying to grab your monitor's information, not the fuser's information. Again, you shouldn't have to do this, and the fuser should auto-grab this and spoof. You can check by going to Display Setting and seeing if the name of the monitor is different. If it is, and you're not getting a display, you can try flashing. But otherwise, there is no point in flashing if everything is working. With Monitor Info open, you want to select the active monitor. I would recommend only having one monitor connected so you do not make a mistake and grab the wrong EEDID file. After you have the monitor selected, you would want to go to File and Save, as I recommend changing where the file is saved as so you can easily find it later. Now we're going to want to launch the EEDID program to flash the EEDID. I have a translation that I made, but all that's important is you want to select your resolution. As you can see, there's 5 EEDIDs, just like the 5 EEDID files that are loaded onto the fuser when you press K1 and you cycle between them. After that, you're going to want to select the file, and then you're going to hit Flash. Your screen should go black and then turn back on, and the lights on the fuser should also turn off and back on. If it did not turn off, you didn't flash, and you probably need to install the driver or try on your other computer. If your screen is black and you are not seeing anything when connected to the fuser, I would recommend that you remote into your main computer from your second and edit the display settings, hertz, and resolution, possibly even pressing K1 and repeating the process of changing the hertz and resolution till you get a picture. If you still do not have a picture, the fuser that you bought probably does not support your monitor, and I would recommend buying another fuser, such as a D60. If you are running higher hertz or higher resolution, the D60 supports 1080p at 360 Hz, while the V6 only supports 1080p at 240 Hz. You can obviously lower the hertz and raise the resolution, so you could run the D60 at 2K resolution and 120 Hz, for example, or 144, where the V6 cannot. It could probably only do 2K at 60 Hz. Or 120 Hz. A lot of the issues when it comes to a fuser can be your monitor doing a lot of tricks to actually get the hertz or resolution, and it's actually not natively doing it, which again, you will have to do a lot of testing on your own to get it to work. For example, my Acer X34 can only do 50 Hz with the V6 fuser, and my Samsung Odyssey G8 can only do 100 Hz with a V6 with the default EEDID that has no driver for the display. If I flash my EEDID, it will not give any picture. If you have an NVIDIA GPU, I recommend going to the NVIDIA control panel to change the resolution and hertz from UHD to PC to then get your desired hertz. If you launch a game and the screen is black, it is probably because you are in full screen and have full screen settings that aren't compatible with the fuser. I recommend playing in borderless, as I find it all around just better. Or you can change the settings of your full screen to not get a black screen anymore. To the people saying that borderless is locked at a certain hertz, like 60, you are completely wrong. It's grayed out, meaning it's disabled because you're not in full screen, and your game can no longer change your hertz. So it's whatever Windows has the hertz set to. That's why you would go and change the hertz in the Windows settings.